Hi guys, my name is Morgan and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different because I don't think I've ever made like a dedicated video about tattoos, but I figured I would talk about my most recent tattoo, which is right here on my wrist. It's this butterfly and it says enough there. I have a vlog, it was the last video that I posted where I got this tattoo, but I really didn't go into like any details like at all about it. So I figured I would sit down and kind of like go over it and document like why I got the tattoo, like the experience of it and things like that. So the first thing is why I got the tattoo. Well, first of all, I just really have been into butterflies lately. I really could not tell you why. I just have liked butterflies and like anything with butterfly imagery on it. So that's one thing. And also like butterflies never really get old. I would say like, butterflies are always been a thing and they're just really pretty. And not to mention, which my tattoo artist would say too, they have so many different meanings. So like even if the meaning changes, well, first of all, I like to think of tattoos, like even if I don't relate to the meaning in like 10 years, for example, it's almost like a scrapbook. Like my body's gonna be a scrapbook of like, this was a time in my life where I was into butterflies and things like that. But even still, butterflies have so many symbolic meanings that it can kind of evolve over time. So that's one thing. Also, I have nothing against like getting a tattoo and it doesn't have a meaning, like I don't care, but this one does have a meaning. Yeah, so that's the butterfly part. As for the enough, I have always wanted to put some sort of like motivational like saying on my wrist, and it's probably like a cliche, but I just always wanted to. Like when I was younger, I always thought of doing like Just Keep Swimming from Nemo. Now I'm kind of glad that I didn't do that one. I didn't want anything that was like too specific, if that makes sense. So I was trying to find just like one word that would kind of sum it up, and especially because I have a lot of self-esteem and anxiety issues and I've been going through therapy. And so honestly, me and my therapist kind of came up with this word together of enough. It's just kind of like I'm sick of all these rules that I put in place for myself, and like I'm sick of thinking that I'm not good enough, that I'm not like strong enough, I'm not loud enough, I'm not cool enough, like just everything. It's like I am enough and enough of thinking of that. So that's basically what that represents there. So it's like mental health sort of thing. And so it's like right on my wrist too. I made sure, I know like the proper way of getting a tattoo is where it's facing outward so other people can see it, but I made sure that this one was facing towards me, so when I look down at it, I can read it. Because it's a good reminder, because it's like, I always see my wrist, so it's like right there and I can be like, I'm enough. So that's the meaning behind the tattoo. But I guess I can talk about the actual experience of getting it. So I went to All Star Tattoo in Livonia, which is where I got my other two that I have. I got this Narwhal by Buddy, as well as, kind of hard to show you in the camera, but these Ed Sheeran albums. But these were done by Mason. This one was actually done by his fiance. I believe his name is Ronan. So he is, I don't know the exact terminology. I know he was an apprentice. I don't know when they become like an official tattoo artist or anything, but he's semi-newer at doing tattoos. So originally when I came to him with my idea, because he's posting a few different butterflies and saying he needed like people, he was looking for clients. So I was like, I'll do a butterfly, and I also gave him the idea of doing that script. Originally he was not going to do the script at first. We were going to come back another day because he said with a dainty script like that on a wrist, it's a little bit more difficult. And I was not going to push him. I don't care, like, that's fine. I was going to come back. But a few days before, I had messaged him on Instagram and kind of asked, like, I was trying to not be rude because I know it can be considered rude, but I was kind of asking, like, what is an estimated price for the tattoo so that I know, like, how much cash to bring, basically, so I can be prepared for that, because I don't really carry around too much cash. I was like, I need to have enough cash. So I talked to him about that, and he was like, actually, I'm gonna do the script too. And I was really excited about that. That was like a few days before I found out, so that got me even more excited about it. And then when the day came, I was not prepared for how long it was gonna take. Like, that is nothing against him. I know tattoos take like forever, but it was just funny because like my other two, which I know they're like really generic and almost like tracing in a way, like it already existed. He didn't have to create anything. But like they both took like half an hour, maybe. Like I was not there for more than an hour for either one of those tattoos. this one I was there for like 3 hours, and I didn't even realize until like he did like the outline of everything. Well, we did the butterfly first, which we were having a kind of a difficult time trying to center it onto my arm, which this is like the worst placement ever for showing you guys tattoos, I swear to God. But I was trying to center it onto my wrist, which I think we did a good job at the end, but it was a little bit iffy trying to do that. So I finally got that, and then we did this, he like put all the outlines down. Then he went through and did all the main black that you see. Then we did the shading in whatever those are of the butterfly, like the petals, I keep calling them. I don't think that's what it's called, but and then we went and did, I don't know if you can even tell, it's kind of scaly and gross right now, but there's like white highlights in all those circles and stuff. So that was that. And then we did the script. But halfway through like the shading, all of a sudden I got like really hot and my head felt funny. And I was just like, I need a drink of water. So we took like a minute, and he was like, oh yeah, no, that's fine, because you've been getting stabbed for like 3 hours now. And I was like, it's been 3 hours? So I didn't even realize, honestly, that it's been 3 hours, but I started losing momentum. And they were like, if you want to come back another day and do the script, that's fine. But no, I was committed. We're finishing it. And they kept telling me too, like the script, like after this butterfly, the script is going to take like 2 seconds, which it definitely did. But the script honestly was like, it did not take that long, but that's exactly what they're doing. But it literally did feel like they were taking a needle and just like digging it into my wrist. But that's what a tattoo is, but it like just definitely felt like that. So that one was a little bit more spicy, but it was all fine. Like I didn't really move or anything, and I don't like to say it because I don't want to sound like, I don't know what you would call that, but they were like, you sat like a rock. And there was this one guy across from me that was like getting a tattoo also, because, you know, as I said, they're like engaged, so they kind of were sharing a room. And the other guy was tattooing this guy, and he was not having a good time at all. And he was getting like his upper arm done or whatever. And they're all like, look at that girl getting her wrist done. She's not even moving. And I was like, well, don't make me feel bad. So, but yeah, and the whole time, of course, when I'm getting this tattoo done, I'm sitting here thinking about how I booked to get like my sternum/underboob area done, as well as like my hip. And I'm thinking about that the whole time when it's getting spicy at my wrists. And I'm like, what have I gotten myself into? But you know what, we're gonna do it because I feel so cool after. Like, it's gonna be a little bit rough in the actual experience, but I'm gonna have that on me my whole life, and I'm gonna get so much props for sitting there. Like, so it's like, we're doing it. I don't care. I am not sitting here, like, again, with the enough of sitting here avoiding things because I'm afraid of it. We're doing it. I don't care. So that's happening. It's October. I have a tattoo set up for September. I'm getting the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch, where he's wearing the Holiday Cheermeister sweater during that whole thing. I'm getting like a sketch of that, like a drawing of that, surrounded by Christmas lights, to fill in this weird like right angle situation that I have there. So I'm still trying to come up with ideas for different tattoos, because honestly at this point I'm kind of committed. I think I'm gonna end up being covered or something, but I have to figure out more ideas. I have another idea that I'm thinking of doing, but it's like I'm still kind of waiting for it because I already have these 2 tattoos set up, and also the underboob situation and my hip. I don't know if we're gonna do that all in one day. That might take a few sessions or something, so we'll see. But I have an idea of getting like a larkspur or something. It's like, I don't know, I think larkspur is the flower that I'm talking about, because I looked those up. I love those. But like lavender, hyacinths, like larkspur is the kind of like flowers like that. Larkspur is just the birth flower of July, which is my birth month, but that's not really the reason I'm getting it, but it's just kind of a connection as well. But I was thinking about getting a larkspur flower just because I love those, and I saw one where they like had it go up like towards their hand, like the larkspur was like going up their hand. So I kind of like that, but I'm still kind of waiting for that. So we'll see, but that seems like my next idea, but I don't know if I'll do that so soon. Especially because now I have this like weird, as I was telling them, like I have this weird like gap situation right here. So like I kind of feel like I should fill it, because I'm like going up here and then I'm gonna like do like that. I don't know, I feel like I need to do something with all this, but I have to figure out what I'm doing. We'll see. Yeah, so that was just a little bit of a ramble about the experience of getting this tattoo. I absolutely love that tattoo studio. Like, it's like an hour away and a little bit inconvenient to go out there to get a tattoo, but if I could, I would. Like, I tell them to put me on the cancellation list all the time, and there's been multiple times where they've texted me like, hey, I have an opening for like tomorrow, and I would love to, but of course I work, so it's like irritating. I can never get the day off. But I really would love it if like one day they're like, hey, I have a cancellation on this day and I actually can go, because that would be like glorious. But hopefully that day will come. But I really do love that studio. I love Mason, who did my other two, and I also love Ronan now. So it's pretty cool, and I can't wait to go back there. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Let me know down below if you have any tattoos and if you have any future plans for any. And like how often, like close together, have you gotten tattoos before? Because I got my first one. This one's gonna be a year old now. I got it on July 20th of 2021. This one I got on March 17th of 2022. So like that was almost like a year. And then I got this one on June 29th of 2022. So it's like 3 months between. And then the next one I'm getting is on September 2nd. So that'll be a little bit like about 2 months. And then from there, my next one, the big deal situation, is going to be October 20th. So that's like a little over a month. So I'm really sitting here like every time I getting shorter and shorter time between. So I'm just curious kind of what everybody else's like schedule is with getting tattoos. Like how often do you get them? Like I'm sure it matters. I don't think anyone plans this out, because I didn't plan to do that either. I'm just curious, like if you have multiple tattoos, like how close together did you get them? Just wondering. All right, well, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.